live alone. Again, there are exceptions to all of these rules, but overpopulations, these are hard and fast rules that have existed since Adam and Eve. So it's just a fact. And if you ignore that fact, you'll be destroyed. And we are, because we've ignored it. So most women, if given the choice between going to work at JP Morgan or staying home and raising their small children, will, of course, choose staying home and raising their small children. If they're given the choice, they're not given the choice, because feminism, total fucking lie. There are no choices. Get to work.
Well, oftentimes it's people's economic conditions that take the choice away. If you're
that's what I'm saying.
Sitting on $130,000 in student loans because you were told that you had this great,
that's the point I'm making.
Great future.
They don't have a choice. Yeah. That's why they do it. And it's a Hobson's choice.
But it's not marital bondage as much as it's economic bondage to debt.
Marriage isn't bondage for women. Marriage, family is the context in which women have the most power. Women have no power outside of their relationships. Women are relational. So if you want to empower
they can
women,
have power in business, they can have wealth, they can have money.
That's not power. That's not power. Who has more power over you, your employee or your mom, your employee or your wife, your employee or your employer or your daughter? Real power is the power to influence other people. And women outside the family have very little. Within the family, they have huge power. There's no man.
Almost all of it.
Almost all of it. There's no man who ignores his wife. There's no son who ignores his mother. There's no father who ignores his daughter. And so, I mean, there may be, but they're freaks. The average man is influenced by women in the family more than any other place. So if you want to empower women, put them at the center of a family. If you want to disempower them, put them at the center of Citibank. It's super simple. And liars and dumb people, like those fucking feminists, like, no, real power comes from money and job title. And it's like, that's a lie. And anyone who believes that is an idiot.
But they
sent by God to Arabia to guide them.
Yo, so, man, all right, so it's a lot to unpack there, but real quick, before we jump into the next segment, but I wanted to, first off, introduce everybody. My name is Robert. This is Julio. We're here with the X-Ray Podcast, but if you've seen that, I invite everybody to watch the whole clip. Matt Gaetz gets in there and explains everything that went with his whole situation of his lawsuit. But what do you think, Julio? I think that he's right. The fact that women are basically, well, not just women, but all of us as a society have been convinced that women have to work now. And, you know, now it's like, being a stay-at-home mom is kind of being looked as a negative view. Like, I've seen it through the lens of my wife, for example. She doesn't work as in a career. She does work, in fact, at home by raising my children, organizing what the family's dynamics are, finances and stuff like that. But, you know, she's the very important piece in my whole world, right? She is she's like basically the main foundation of our household. So when other women see her and find out that she's not working, they all look at her like, man, you know what? You know, like she's failed in some sort. In fact, in reality, you know, she's actually really the core important parts of in this family. So I think it's very, very sad that we've now got convinced from going to letting women work, allowing women to work, to now they need to work in order to sustain any type of, because not everybody can live in that luxury where one income can sustain the whole family. And so, what are your thoughts on that, Julio?
I know, man. It is a hard topic to touch because even though feminism did I would say a few things, but at the other hand, kind of destroy the nuclear family in the same time. You know what I mean? It was like a curse and a blessing. And what it did is, and you adding up the industrial revolution, and you adding up the educational system built for bring out the mom and dad out of their household and especially the woman and put it to work what the government educate and indoctrinate the children, and it's been proven fact from the beginning. But I would say a woman has been kind of ripped off of her nature. Now she has to work to kind of two incomes to basically to have a good or have a decent uh livelihood, because one income is hard enough. You know what I mean? One income is almost near impossible to sustain a household. But now you have mom and dad working, and mom gets home before dad, or dad get home before mom, and they have to now take care of the kids, now take care of the household chores that they have to take care of, and that is a double work. It is stressful. It is crazy sometimes, and kind of, I mean, if you don't have a strong marriage, it will fall apart quick. uh Both of them working because they have to work as hard, they cannot dedicate time for themselves. The kids has been indoctrinated by the educational system, and everything kind of falls apart. You know what I mean? It is hard, and I'm glad, my wife works, but I stay home dad, and I take care of like the household stuff, and it's a hard work. I give it up to the woman that does not work in outside the house, but inside the house they have to like do groceries, cleaning, taking care of the kids, picking up the kids from school, do lunches, do dinner, take care of the bills of the house, take care of all the stuff that we don't take care of because we out there working. We have to give it a lot mad respect to the women to that do work outside and inside the household, because it is very hard to do.
And real quick before we do change, one thing is reality is this, Julio, that let's say a young man who decides, you know what, I'm not going to go partying. I'm not going to go, I'm just going to dedicate my youth to get a profession, a career, right? So let's say they work all the way till they're like 30, 35, 37, or even 35 to 40, and they finally reach success in a career that they choose. So now they're ready to settle down. Fortunately for that man, it's guess what? The market of dating will allow a 27-year-old woman who has no career, who has nothing. That 35 to 40-year-old can pick that woman, and he's fine that if she only has a McDonald's job or whatever it is, right? She don't have a career or anything. He's okay with accepting her as his wife and starting a family, and she would be okay because he's got the job, he's got security, and women tend to like older men, right? But now let's
Mhm.
flip that script. A woman now she's now the same thing, decides not to party, not to go dating, just work herself all the way to a career. She becomes 35 to 40. Guess what, Julio? She's not going to want a 26-year-old man or a 27-year-old man because he's not going to have nothing. So guess what? She's what? She wants somebody in her level. But anybody that's in her level then doesn't really want her because she's got a time constraint that she can't have kids at 30, 40 years old because there's a high risk, right? So it's just one thing that I wanted to bring up. And, moving on to the next segment, though.
Oh yeah.
So see that interview with PPD and I don't know what's his name. You can say it. I can't.
Yeah, it was Imam Tawhid. I will just hold on, give me a second. I will post. Let me put the link in the description so if people can watch the entire podcast on their channel. But basically, he went Imam Tawhid went to PBD podcast to do an interview with him, and I was, just listening to it. I was doing all the stuff, but I was listening to it. But one question of from PBD kind of caught my attention, and I was like, "Oh man, that's a gotcha moment." I mean, but I will give you the preamble. I will give you what leads into the next question from PBD. But let me give you a 30-second clip, and then we're gonna jump into the actual question from Patrick David, which is, man, he put him on his place. He got exposed. Imam Tawhid got exposed big time. Watch this video.
Sent by God to Arabia to guide them towards monotheism and ethics. That's it. That is who he was. That's what his mission was. And that is exactly what the Quran focuses on. But yes, it's a book that speaks to a developing community. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be war, and there's going to be peace. There's going to be a lot of difficult conversations to be had, and we should not shy away from them.
What's the most difficult part of
Let me give you the next, give you the preamble of that. So that was the kind of like the opening section for PVD part, PVD question, because he was talking about Muhammad being like, all the Muslims have to answer the question. They cannot hide behind a narrative, and they have to be truthful, when they ask questions to them, and just straight facts. Then PVD came back with a question that kind of have him sweating, but let's check it out.
what's the most difficult part of the Quran that you had to accept?
No, I accept it all with no difficulty.
None of it.
No, because there's no question you can ask me that I do not have a rational answer for.
The most basic one I'll go to that you've probably been asked a million times that you know of. So Aisha, how do you process that?
Aisha was not married to the Prophet at a young age. She was an adult.
And I've heard you say this before.
She was an adult.
Do you know how many people who are Islam, Muslim scholars who do the complete opposite, who don't even debate it?
Right.
But you debate it.
They're preachers. They're not imams. They are preachers. The son of an imam is not an imam. Just because your dad has a mosque and leads prayers and gives you the microphone to speak, it does not make you a theologian.
If the average person goes and checks to see, by the way, let's do this. Let me ask the question in a different way.
Right.
If he did marry Aisha at 6,
Right.
if he did consummate at 9,
Right.
would you still be a Muslim?
The thing is, he would never do that.
No, but here's a different question I'm asking.
Right. He would never do that.
I'm not asking that question. If your prophet, this is an if, it's a key word, if he did marry a 6-year-old, if he did consummate, which means, have sex with somebody at 9, that some people would, define that as rape. They wouldn't even consider that as sex. If he did, would you still be a Muslim? Would you still see yourself as a Muslim yourself?
Patrick. I'm not running away from the question. I swear on my life. And I'm
This and that happened. You know what I mean? He just put the question if. And he trying to Patrick is trying to remove the variables out of it every time. So, he do a broad question and then he now break it down a little bit deeper. And now we're about to get into Imam Tawhid kind of struggle. He going through mental gymnastic, because in the context of Muhammad married Aisha in the surah, I don't know if you have it. Can you bring it up real quick?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring that up right now. But
I got it. I got it right here.
Okay, bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me show you this screen real quick.
That's
So,
what I was trying to do right now while the whole glitch thing happened. But
I know it's been glitchy, but there we go, right here. All right, here the keynote and data. He text right here. Let me put my glasses on, because I wanna read off of it. Okay, this is from the Tawhid, right? And then you have different versions, but the Hadith is narrated. The Prophet married, or the Prophet Muhammad married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old, and then she remained with him for 9 years. AI till his death. So technically, Aisha was married at 6, consummated the marriage at 9 years old, and she lived with him for 9 more years. Basically, she died at the age of 18, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's in the, hold on, let me put it right in the large context, people can see it. So that it was, it says in the Tahid, in the Hadith, I'm sorry to mispronounce that, the Hadith. And then we have similar narration say that the Prophet Muhammad married her when she was 6 years old, consummated the marriage at 9. Hisham said, I have been informed that Aisha remained with the Prophet Muhammad for 9 years till his death. So again, they're saying the same thing. They just, the verbiage is a little bit different, but it still remained that she was married at 6, married at 9. And then they have another one to say the same thing. So the scholarly consensus and debate, it says the classical Islamic scholar Al Hawawi and others across school of thought accept the narration as authentic and understood them literally, with the marriage contract at the age of 6, consummation at the age of 9. This was not controversial in historical context, as early marriages were common in the 7th century in Arabia and May pre-modern society. So therefore,
And,
they accepting it is normal for in them to do that type of thing and married at such a young age, which is a child. You
yeah,
marrying a child, that means you're a PDF. In my opinion, whether it is accepted in your side of the world and the side of the area they lived in, is still unconceivable. Like how could you do such a thing? Like
yeah,
when you're 6 years old, you're not worried about none of that sexuality nature. You just worry about playing with dolls, playing around, running, playing with dirt, but not doing that type of thing. And for them, it is disgusting to say the least. Let me know how you feel. Let me know your comments down below. Robert, what do you think about all
well,
this
so so right
mumbo
now,
jumbo?
when you were expressing your thoughts, I came across this question in my mind that I was about to start researching. But okay, so what you said, I also found a text where Aisha, she said, this is her words, that Aisha stated that the Prophet married her at 6, like what you just said, and consummated at 9. That means she had sex with him at 9. That is disgusting. So my question that came to my mind when you were saying this was that a standard? Because you know how they say, judge not history by today's standards, because
You're
when
right.
you do that, then everyone falls back. So then I start to think, well, was it was it a normal thing for a man to marry a 6-year-old around that time? And I don't think so. I don't think so. But I was gonna check that right now, and because dude, that's a child. I mean, there's no
It
even.
is.
There's just
It is.
it's
These people are
disgusting.
sick. These
Yeah,
people are
it's
sick.
disturbing.
They have no room in our society. I don't care. We live in now. The
Yeah,
past
I
is
know.
past. What is done is done. What Aisha, poor little child, went through, it is done. We cannot change it. But now they're bringing their books, bringing their belief, bringing their religion to the Western. They were. They, I mean, you guys seen already. London has fallen, Australia has fallen, and so many other European cities and country has fallen with this jihadist Islamic radical Islam, and now they're bringing it to the U.S., Michigan, Dearborn, Dallas, part of Houston, and New York, especially New York. We are being invaded by these. I would say and without reservation, savages and disgusting human beings
Yeah,
that
they're very
chanted
disgusting.
death to America. If you
Mhm.
chanted death to America and you are in American soil, I don't care about your First Amendment. You can say what you want, but you got repercussions. If you coming out of your mouth and you chanted death to America, you need to pack your bags and go. We don't want you
Yes,
here. I'm sorry, we don't want you here. We don't need you here. So, like, how you gonna bash and how you gonna be so disrespectful, not to me, but the people of the United States of America, the people who have bled and died for it, and you come up over here and it's kind of like a spit on your face, like a slap on your face. Like, you seen Dale Chappelle, seen this duel back in the day. They took the gloves off and slap you in the face and
yeah,
say, "I challenge you to a duel." That's what it feels like, to be honest. You know what I mean? And they have done it. They have done it before, and they're still doing it. They want to convert the shit old country. They want to bring it over here. Do the same thing. They want to do the prayers 5 times a day in public square where nobody cares, and we have to basically assimilate to them, but not the other way around. So make it make sense. You know what I mean? And I seen the video on on X that just popped up of a let me see a couple that were eating at the restaurant, and this waitress served them their food, and the guy looked like a Muslim, slapped her on the face for no reason, just slapped her for no reason because she was serving the food. I guess she was not covered. I don't know. You know what I mean? They got different. Their their rules always transforming. It's always evolving. They change the rules up in the air. But anyway, let me go back to the video of Patrick Beck David because I went off the rail. I went bad. So let me
no,
bring
you're
the
good.
video of Patrick Beck David. Ask him the question again to Imam Tawhid, and he just have trouble, and he going through mental gymnastics just to answer a simple question: whether Aisha was 6 when she married Prophet Muhammad and consummated at 9. But
Hey, and real quick before you play it, so I did check, and yes, it was frowned upon around that time. Most countries would marry as low as 12 years old,
as
and as low as
low.
12. Yeah, the lowest was 12 years old. And they would have, like in India, it's showing here, in India, they would have like babies set to betroth with another baby. So when they grow together, they would marry. So that was normal. But I put a 40-year-old man with a 6 or 9 year old that was prepubescent. That was only that was frowned upon back in the day. So again, he was a pedo then. He's a pedo now.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely. That definitely. No question about it. Let's play that video, and I will kind of play fast forward a little bit because
What's the most difficult?
And on my mother's life,
Would you still see yourself as a Muslim yourself?
Patrick, I'm not running away from the question. I swear on my life and on my mother's life. I'm telling you, when you say prophet, to me it means an infallible being that does not make a mistake or make error. It doesn't make sense.
Then let me ask the question in a different way. Okay. You're born into a family that is non-religious at all. You have to find your own way. It's not third generation Imam. They're not Muslim, but it's not atheist. Maybe it's agnostic. You go pick and choose and find your own. Not Christian, not Presbyterian, not Jehovah, not nothing, right?
I would eventually end up as Muslim and as Shia
You say
Muslim.
that. You say that now, and yeah, I understand saying that. I would also say I would end up being a Christian myself, and I would say that, but neither one of us know that for a fact. We can play that and say yes, but I get the positioning of you having faith in what you're saying. If we put something on a board, facts of each religion out there, let's name one of them the religion of whatever. But the founder of that religion, who was admired by a couple billion people, if it was factually proven that he married someone at 6 and they had sex at 9, would you ever consider that religion? If, I didn't say Muslim, I said if it was proven that the founder had done that, would you ever accept that religion?
No, of course not.
You wouldn't?
No.
Okay, beautiful.
But again, the Prophet for us, when you say Muhammad, you know what I process? An infallible human being that does not make mistakes at all or any error. So it's impossible that he would make such a decision. And plus, the issue of Aisha, you have to weigh it against the society and the dates around her. She was born after her sister Asma, and she died before Asma. And I have it in a study which I can definitely send you. She was either from 18 to 21 years old. There is no Muslim consensus that Aisha was 3 or 6 or 9 or 15. There are more popular opinions because there is a state behind the publications promoting them. Yes, that I accept. But again, with all due respect, if you put a book in front of me.
Listen,
Dude.
he missing the point. Okay, I give it to Imam. He was right when he said she was either 18 or 21. Yes, at the moment of her death. She was
Exactly.
18 to 21.
Correct.
He's not refuting the fact that Patrick is trying to bring the point to the front, which is whether are you Muslim because you're accepting Muhammad with his flaws or without it. And Imam Tawhid kind of fumble the words and trying to justify that Aisha was not 6 when she actually factually by scholars, and we just read it, they admitted she was 6, consummated by 9, and lived until the age of 18, roughly. So,
Dude,
and
he just basically said Muhammad was a god because
yeah,
nowhere in the Quran, because Muhammad had flaws for one. He said
too many.
when I hear Muhammad, he says I hear infallible, right? First off, he's not God. He is a human being, so he has flaws. I don't know what Allah is he's serving, but if it's the same one that if they in their book of the Quran, because nowhere in the Quran does it say that Muhammad is infallible. No, he's a human being. There's no one perfect but God, and that's God Yahweh and Yeshua. So first off, that's where he messed up. He's saying that he says when he
What's
hears
the-
Muhammad, he says, what did he say? It's like right here. Here we go. Watch this.
Let's name one of them.
Where
Someone
Right
accept
here.
that religion.
Right here. Watch.
Not have a rational answer for.
The most basic one I'll go to that you've probably been asked a million times that you know of. So Aisha, how do you process that?
Aisha was not married to the
Already,
Prophet at a
right?
young age. She was an adult.
And I've heard you say this before.
She was an adult.
Do you know how many people
Bro.
who are Islam, Muslim scholars who do the complete opposite, who don't even debate it?
Right.
But you debate it.
They're
we just read it.
Yeah, he's just dude. Again, he is flawed in his regard. Look, here's the thing. Someone said they probably. Let me show this. Hold on. This is distracting. Hold on. It says. Oh wait. Here we go.
Go ahead, you do
It
it.
says. Oh yeah. Good. Wait. Here we go. They probably mean she was 6 in dog years. No.
Probably.
Dude, hey, it's horrible, Julio. This individual, you can't defend this.
You can't.
You can't.
It's impossible. It's some of the scriptures and scholars like we just read and Patrick Ray David talks about even the scholars, they do not deny it. It was a fact that she was married at 6, consummated by 9, and died by the age of 18. Like, why Imam Tawhid is jumping through mental hoops just to accept it that, hey, yes, it is in the scripture, therefore it is right. But him by denying it, he's saying two things: either the Quran is wrong, or the scholars are wrong.
And then two, then you got to think of this. Aisha has letters and there's text. I mean, this is how they know the age. It just,
Bro, he going through mental gymnastics. His final answer when Patrick David literally answered him, trying to reframe the question 3 or 4 times just to get a simple answer, which is crazy. But let's go into it. Let's go watch the video. Take a listen.
Promoting them. Yes, that I accept. But again, with all due respect, if you put a book in front of me, a history book, and you tell me this book was authored by a very respected man, you know what I'll tell you? I'll tell you with all due respect, Brother Patrick, I know you gave me a book. You put a book in front of me, but God gave me a brain, and I can do mathematics, and I can understand exactly when she was born, where she was. It's not hard to work it out.
Let me go back. Sorry.
oh my God, Patrick's done, bro. He's done.
He know he got him. He know he got him.
Dude, you know what I would love to see? Shamood with this guy.
Oh,
Sam Shamood
will eat him. Shamood will eat him. In fact, Patrick, if you watch this, if you bump into this video for some odd reason, please make it happen. Put it on pay-per-view, put it behind the paywall, and I guarantee you, people will pay. People will go to YouTube to pay even $1.99 per person. You're gonna make money while we're just enjoying the destruction of a so-called Imam Tawhid. He's gonna get destroyed. He's going to get destroyed. Man, this dude, he's going, his mental gymnastics are like pristine, because even Patrick, he just laughing about it because he knows.
Yeah, because
it's just
he's not being genuine. You know,
he's not.
Either he's not being genuine or he's not that smart. But I doubt he's. I
think he's both. I think it's both.
It's not hard to work it out.
Well,
18 to 21.
Okay.
Final verdict.
According to your opinion, is 18 to 21, right? According to your opinion.
But I have Islamic sources for it.
But those are also sources.
But they are.
So the two sources are debating each other.
Again, a source is measured and is judged based on the author. And
you see that deep, taking deep breath. It's just like, come on.
Because you're arguing with an ideologue. He's never going to concede, because he's going to say my facts are true because it came from this guy, but not your guy. Because he's basically saying these scholars aren't really Islamic. So because of that, which is the same mindset, if I don't understand it, it is not true, which is a stupid argument that you could make.
I know. Yeah, that is a fallback.
But that was right there. That moment that you captured Patrick right now is the moment that in his mind he's saying, "This ain't going nowhere."
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. He took a deep breath. That's like my wife told me. Those are micro expressions of that deep. Taking a deep breath and breathing through his nose means that, like, he's not going to concede. This is just bullshit, what he's saying. And let's move on to the next question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because he could easily say, you know what, we're done with this interview. You know what I mean? We're done. But give it up to Patrick, because he has patience though.
On the credibility of the source. So when you're telling me that she was, it's narrated that she's 6 or 9, I understand where that comes from. And I can also tell you that book is banned in certain countries. So that's the same book and I don't want to mention, I don't want to offend X% of Muslims by saying this. But I'll tell you this, if a book is rejected because it was relied upon by ISIS, it should also be rejected if it tells you that Aisha was 6 and that my prophet was a
Man, this
rapist.
guy, dude.
You
Yeah.
reject the book in its totality.
Do you know? So
Right here, you see that micro expression, that laugh was like he was not comfortable continue with this conversation at that very moment. That was my perception. I might be wrong, but he was kind of like not happy or not pleased with that answer from Imam, because basically he was saying, "Oh, if it coming from different scholar, like you were mentioned, it's not accepted because I don't accept it."
I
You
know
know what I mean?
it's just a flawed way of thinking, and I love that Pat busts out with these facts in front of him, because the thing is that there's just so much out there that, oh, I mean, like like there's literature showing that she was 6 years old when she got married. That's
So
just
many. You got the Hadith, you got the Quran, you got the Talmud, you got all of them concede that she was 6. Why he's saying she was not? Like, that's stupid. That is crazy, crazy, crazy coming from him. But yeah, I'm agree with you. I would like to see what is the
Sam
guy
Shamoon.
Shamu with Imam Tawhid. That would be a great hour and a half, whatever long it lasts, to to watch that interview, that interaction. Because I would like to see Patrick, because he interviewed both. So I would like to see Patrick as the, I would say,
Moderator.
moderator. Like, hey, I'm gonna ask 10 questions and we're gonna touch different subjects, and it would be 10, 20 questions overall, and boom, he just go at it. It would be great. Oh, and by the way, I want to see Nick Fuentes and Ben Shapiro. I want to see Nick Fuentes, and I would say, who's the other one? I would like to see Nick Fuentes, and
Hey,
I guess Nick Fuentes versus everybody.
dude,
Glenn Beck, Ben
have you
Shapiro.
have you seen
All
Nick
this stuff.
Fuentes versus Dinesh D'Souza?
There is a video?
Yeah, apparently I didn't know. That's why I'm asking, because I watched Tucker
What?
Carlson, and he said that Nick Fuentes and Dinesh D'Souza debated, and Patrick Ben David said this, and Nick Fuentes beat Dinesh D'Souza. Which, if that's true, I'm gonna watch this after this, because
Oh, there is a video right here.
oh my gosh, play something out of it, dude. I'm anxious to see that. I mean, dude, but I will say this. So,
Oh, it happens. It happens in Alex Jones.
wait, what, dude?
Hold on.
Yeah, it was PPD. It was Patrick that said it. Patrick said that because they were talking about the reaction between Tucker Carlson. Did you see that though? With the Turning Point event, they had Ben Shapiro come up and talk trash of Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, and then Tucker Carlson came next right after that, and then Tucker Carlson was like, I don't know, I didn't pay attention. I wasn't paying attention. Nah, I was paying attention. It wasn't all important. Like, it was just like talking trash, dude. I was just like, man. So Patrick Ben David had an event there, and he was saying what we just said, that he would love to see, so and so debate, but man, dude, I just
Hold on.
I just can't believe it.
It happened 4 months ago.
Oh man.
At Infowars.
At Infowars, no
At
wonder it wasn't
Infowars.
public.
That's why we couldn't see it. Hold on, let me see.
Dude, that's crazy.
Let me see if we can. see.
I don't know why my closed captions are in Arabic. That is like the craziest thing.
And everybody's saying it too.
Hey, so let me can I show you this clip, Julio, real quick for the viewers to watch while you're looking for this? But this is Tucker Carlson right after Ben Shapiro started talking massive trash to him and Candace. I'm just gonna show you this clip. Here we go.
Walking out is always such a trip at these things. I just got here and I feel like I missed the first part of the program. Hope I didn't miss anything meaningful. But I just want to say, I don't think I did. No, I'm just kidding. I watched it. I laughed. That kind of bitter, sardonic laugh that emerges from you when like Upside Down World arrives. When your dog starts doing your taxes and you're like, wait, it's not supposed to work this way.
Talking
To
about
hear
Ben
calls
Shapiro.
for like deplatforming and denouncing people at a Charlie Kirk event, I'm like, what? This is hilarious. Yeah, this is hilarious. Actually, one of the clips I was listening to myself, thinking as I often do when I hear myself speak, which is never.
But basically, Ben Shapiro had just went and talked massive trash. And so what he started saying is how, dude. So anyways, the reason why I brought this up was because PVD talked about that he would love to see Nick Fuentes and debate Ben Shapiro, or Ben Shapiro debate Tucker Carlson.
I just dropped the link of the Rumble address so you can watch the video of the Nation Sousa debating Nick Fuentes. It was hosted by Alex Jones at InfoWars, and this happened July 1st.
Wow.
That one went over my head.
Me too.
It is. So I posted in there, and it is 2 hour long. I will not play it, but tomorrow definitely I will bring the best moments of it. Uh, Let me show you a quick play of the
Clip of it?
video.
Yeah.
Just a quick play.
Ooh,
The
they
Muslims
streamed it.
came out of the Arabian desert. How do you think they conquered the Holy Land? They took Jerusalem. They took Syria. They took Jordan. They conquered Iran by force. That's how they got it. They are the occupier of Iran.
Okay,
Not
Dinesh,
only
and by
that-
the way, you're both very smart men. I've studied the history. You're both, accurate in the basic facts. Very
Dang,
interesting.
Dinesh was
I'm not
heated.
saying the general public's dumb, but even really smart political people, really, most of them can't find around on a map. So I don't want to throw this in. I figured, very smart, Dinesh, trying to throw the debate away here, but very smart to get into America versus Iran up front. I was imagining, and I'm not trying to steer this, though I want to spend some time on it, the whole issue of Israel and the Israel lobby and where that sits, because I know that's Nick's bailiwick. And, so that's just something I'm throwing out there as well, because that's why a lot of Americans have seen, I'm not saying I love the Islamists or any of this, but we've seen regime change. Now, the former head of Al-Qaeda in charge of Syria, we see, Hamas being, Israel helped set it up, as a counterbalance. Then we
That's I don't want to get copyright, but that is basically the a clip. I posted in the description, in the comments. You can see the entire video if you want to see it for yourself. Which is I'm going to look at the video and grab the key moments, the full context and key moments of the video, so we don't trying to condense it and make it easier for digest for you guys, the viewers, because I don't want to just like play a 2 hour video, because if not, we're gonna be here until tomorrow morning, break it down on every little piece. But we're gonna break it down and talk about it. And this is went over my head, to be honest. This is just like flew over. I
Yeah,
didn't realize it.
I didn't know that existed until PPD said it. But man, I will tell you this: I'm gonna watch that, and I think I'm a big fan of Dinesh D'Souza, and I'm just now barely joining the Nick Fuentes, like meaning like I really haven't seen his content until here recently, because
Right.
I thought the same thing, like he was an anti-Semitic, but I'm realizing he's not anti-Semitic at all. I mean, he sounds like it, and he says he's racist or whatever, but that's he's saying that by the lived definition, not by the real
Definitely.
definition. But I
Definitely.
don't know, man. Hey, this is a cool show, man. This is I like it. This is crazy. But like you
It is.
said, we could ramble on this all day.
I know, man. We could be here all day long, but I really appreciate you guys. Please follow us. I'm gonna put the where we at down in the bottom, so right here, so you can see where we at. This is our everything, our social media. Go ahead and follow us. Give us a like and subscribe. Share this channel. The channel is growing lately. Our algorithm shows that we're getting a bunch of subscribers every day, and we're getting viewers. I guess we are moving out of the shadow band. Now we're posting more every day. We are getting out of the shadow band. So if you please help us out, give us a like, share the content. That will big immensely help our channel to move forward. And also, this is our website. Go to the xraypodcast.com. Oh, the not the E, xraypodcast.com. You can find merch, you can find videos, and you can contact us if you need us. You can click on the pictures, you jump right to the video. So I really appreciate it, guys. Have a great week. If you have family coming over for Christmas, wish them happy birthdays in our behalf. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for a quick video around 6:30, 7 p.m. We'll be online doing a quick stop by just to say hi and do some Q&A if possible. Robert, any last words before we depart?
Well, thank you guys for joining. And like Julio had said before, give us a like. It's for free. Give us a share. And thank you guys for joining in. And jump in the comments. I love reading, and every now and then it's either me or Julio that we're jabbing the left. But you guys, thank you, and have a great day. And we'll be talking here tomorrow on
Yeah,
Christmas Eve, and wish
yeah, I
you guys
know.
a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I might. Hey, bring you chocolate and marshmallow. That's what I'm going to bring tomorrow night.
Yeah, a hot
So get
chocolate.
ready.
Hmm.
Hot chocolate with marshmallow. That's my favorite. Hopefully, I probably have some like little cookies. Those like
Oh,
cookies decorated
s'mores.
with a Christmas tree on it.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, those are good. Mhm.
That's are legit. All right, guys and gals. Thank you so much. God bless you again. I see you guys tomorrow. Take care.